This is Rounding Third, Boston Podcast. Harrison Smith and Nick Arno are breaking down every pitch, every game, and every series. Live every week. This is your home for all things Red Sox. Let's talk.
Welcome back into Rounding Third Boston, episode 14. Devers needs to go. I'm Nick. We have Harrison tonight. How are we doing, Harrison?
Fantastic. How we doing, Nick?
Doing pretty good. It's been a pretty wild week in the Red Sox front, but we will dive into it all. But first, make sure you follow and like us on Facebook. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can follow on Instagram, Rumble, and TikTok. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. We also have our affiliate programs. You can find links to Dick's Sporting Goods, MLB Shop, and Lids at the tops of all of our social media platforms. You click on this link and buy products from these companies. We get a nice little kickback with no additional cost to you. It's just a great way to support the podcast. So please use those links if you're buying anything from these companies. And we appreciate everyone that already has. We also have our Rounding Third merch store on Etsy. So you can search for Rounding Third Baseball on Etsy. You can find t-shirts, sweatshirts. We got little nice tumblers here. Gotta love these things. Oh, they're so sharp. There's a few colors to choose from. So go on there, check it out. And it's another great way to support us. All right, Harrison. Oh, let's get into this. I know we did a little bit on the big show on Thursday. Let's just dive into Rafael Devers here. So Devers said through an interpreter last week that he was approached by Breslow to play first following the Tristan Casas injury.
Makes sense.
Right. I mean, is Romy Gonzalez going to be your permanent fix there? Probably not. Is he a nice utility piece to fill in while you figure it out? Yeah, sure. Yep. I get it. So Devers follows that up with a comment saying, I'm not sure what he has with me. Issue is in parentheses there because he didn't really say that, lost in the translation there. Yep. But anyways, he played ball, and I would like to think he knows that changing position like that isn't easy. I know I'm a ball player, but at the same time, they can't expect me to play every position out there. Now, I'm going to back Devers a little bit here. I get what he's trying to say, right? I mean, he comes in thinking he's a third baseman. They move him to DH. Now they all of a sudden want him to play first base. I think Devers is thinking this is going to be immediate. And later, Breslow came out and said that he doesn't expect this to be an immediate change. He understands it's difficult to learn a new position. So, I think there's a little bit of communication breakdown there, which in result, the front office executives, so that's Breslow, Henry, Kennedy, everybody flew out to Kansas City to meet with Devers to try to get this ironed out. So we're going to break it all down, but should they move on from Devers and open up the DH spot for Yoshida or cycle the outfielders through that spot and bring up Anthony?
I mean, I feel like it's going to be really hard for him to come back from this because the headlines followed out of this were that he literally had a teammate, while he was talking in the background say, just stop, stop talking about this. And they've not said who, but there was somebody overheard kind of saying in the background to him to stop. And then apparently the day after, there is a meeting with him and a few veterans. We don't know who that is. My only guess is it's probably some combination of, Bregman, Story, Duran, that kind of group. To sit down with them, basically say, look, dude, enough. Enough with this. You're not helping yourself. You're not helping the team. Enough with this. And be a team player. Be a better teammate. Stop making this about you. So I think it's going to be really hard for him to come back from this and A, have his teammates really trust that he's on board. B, have the fans get behind him again. And C, there's no way the front office is going to trust that this isn't going to happen again. And Craig Breslow can't make the whole league think that he's weak and he's going to get bullied by one of his players.
Yeah.
And I think if you're the Red Sox, Devers has put you in a spot where somebody's got to go. It's Breslow or it's Devers. because clearly this is not going to work. And I think you're in a spot where I don't think you get rid of Breslow. Not that he's done a great job. He's done a pretty good job, but this isn't on him. This is a player who clearly doesn't want to be part of a program. He wants to do his own thing. I think that leaves you with no choice, but you've got to find a way to move on from Devers.
Yeah. Edward, I agree with this quote. We'll definitely dive deeper into this. Do what's best for the team. He's getting paid a lot of money. He doesn't want to go to first base. And I get it. He's finally comfortable in that DH spot after, that rough first week or so. It's hard to say he's not performing because he is. A couple more RBIs today. I mean, he had a 4 for 4 the other day. So, I mean, he's still performing. It's just I just don't understand the thinking. We've said it before. You've gotten the bag. The only thing left to do is win. That's it. Win.
Yeah.
Win at all costs. And if it's, hey, if the Red Sox need me at first base, I'm going to go. If they tell me I'm penciled into right field, I'm going to go and try my hardest. Yeah, you might make mistakes. It's going to happen. It's okay. Guess what? The guys that have playing positions their whole entire life make mistakes. It happens. So I don't understand the thinking. He's already got the money. He's not playing for a free agent contract. I could completely understand if this was the last year of his contract and the Red Sox are just, for lack of a better word, dicking him over. I completely understand that.
Yeah, and I think that the worst part of this whole thing for me is not him not wanting to play first base. It's why do we know about this?
Right.
Why have you chosen to bring this to the public, bring this to the media, and have this little rant session? There is no reason for this to become a media headline talking point. You have proven for the second time that you can't handle a big boy conversation without running to the media and hoping that somebody's going to defend you. And that is a level of immaturity and softness that is not a good look for Rafael Devers as the face of the franchise. And if I'm the Red Sox, you now have to admit the mistake you made. You bet on the wrong horse, and you've got to move on.
Yeah, I hope when the Sox get back to Fenway that the fans pull through and give this guy what they're thinking.
Yep.
Right? I really hope the Fenway faithful tell him what he needs to hear. Tell him that the fan base isn't behind him in this corner. And just do it for one at bat. That's it. Let him know. And then you can cheer him on. Right? That would be the fans' way of saying, hey, buddy, just close your mouth and play ball. And we're the Red Sox. We want to win. And if the manager pencils you in at first base, go to first base. That's it.
Yeah, it's a nice reminder that the fans are coming to see the Red Sox. Rafael Devers is not the whole show. He's great. Right. He's a tremendous player.
Yep.
But he's not the whole show.
Right.
And Rafael Devers himself does not make the Red Sox a good team because they've been 500 for years with him. And Red Sox fans are tired of the losing. And a guy who's clearly not on board with a new path and a winning mindset, fans don't want that. People aren't plunking down $100 a ticket to come see a guy who just wants the headlines and press, doesn't care if they win the game.
Right. So what did the Red Sox do? Do they ultimately move him? Do they open up that DH spot? I know we'll get to Yoshida in a little bit, but opening up that DH spot, whether you finally end up convincing him to go to first base or you ship him out, it opens up that DH spot for Yoshida or to bring Anthony up and cycle those 4 outfielders through it to get a quote unquote off day. What would you do in this situation?
I mean, I think the obvious solution is if you do ship him out, which I think the Red Sox are going to feel forced to have to do, if you do ship him out, unless you get back some kind of a big bat, which my guess is the Red Sox are not trying to trade from a position of strength here. They're trying to get rid of a disgruntled player, which is going to be hard. So the returns are probably not going to be great. Maybe a couple of prospects, and you hope they take on the whole contract. So you're unlikely to fill the hole with what you get back in a trade. So that leaves you with the opportunity to promote Roman Anthony and just say, all right, kid, let's do it. Let's see what you got. And he either DHs or he kind of rolls to the outfield and they use the DH spot as a way to keep guys fresh. But I think that's the easiest solution is to just bring Anthony up and see what he can do.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And worst case, if Anthony does not work out, you can call your old friend JD Martinez and see what he's up to.
Right. Yeah.
For a season, that wouldn't be the worst thing you could do. Plus, it's a right-handed bat.
Right, which you have needed for a while. So,
yep.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what these next couple weeks what kind of happens here. But as a Red Sox fan, if he stays with his team, just please, I said it a month ago when he was running his mouth. Just stop. Like, have these conversations with these guys behind closed doors, and you don't have to go and run and tell Shaughnessy or McAdams or you don't need to.
Stop running to the media every time somebody hurts your feelings.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And I would love to be a fly on the wall to know what that conversation was actually like. And did he actually say anything? Or did he just like nod his head and leave the room and then go put him on blast with the media? Like, I'd love to know, did he actually air his grievances directly to Breslow, or did he just like walk away and air them to the media? Because that also says a lot about who he is.
Right. Yeah, Edward, I agree. Sounds like a plan. Bring up Anthony, clear that contract to the Devers. Listen, the Dodgers take all our bad contracts. Yeah, sure. Just another bat in the Dodgers lineup is exactly what they need. But hey, if it gets rid of the contract and we get one or two of those bullpen arms, I would be all for it.
Yeah.
All for it.
You might actually be a better team coming out of it. I mean, losing Devers hurts. I mean, he is your number one offensive guy.
Yes.
But he's easier to replace than arms.
Yeah. And bullpen is in desperate need of some arms for sure.
So I think the Red Sox are going to have to make a move here, because I don't think you can't finish the season with both of these guys, Breslow and Devers, part of the organization.
Yeah, I agree. And that might work.
We'll probably see it again.
Yeah, and that might work itself out. Like, who knows what the Red Sox are going to be like at the trade deadline. If they're out of it, I don't see them hanging on to Devers. They'll ship them out for a big package for sure. So
makes sense.
All right. Trevor Story, now kind of on the flip side of this, he broke his silence about the idea of Marcelo Mayer replacing him at some point in the future. And his response was, "It doesn't bother me. I think Marcelo is a great player. It's up to the front office to find ways to make it work. I've always said it's never bad having too many good players." What do you think about this statement?
Yeah, so he was asked in spring training about this. He didn't say much. It continues to circle because Marcelo Mayer was just the International League Player of the Week. Marcelo Mayer is tearing the cover off the ball the last couple of weeks. So I think the pressure and the conversations continue. I'm impressed with the fact that here's the guy in Trevor Story who's feeling like he's locked into the shortstop position. He spent a lot of the spring mentoring Marcelo Mayer, and at the time he said, "I have no problem. Like, Tulowitzki did this for me. I'm happy to pass it on and do it for him." He's proven to be such an incredibly good leader, an incredibly good teammate. He understands the situation that he's in, where he's missed a ton of games.
Right.
He understands the size of his contract. He understands the flexibility and low cost of a guy coming up. I mean, he lived this on the other end. He was Marcelo Mayer at one point in time. So he gets it.
Yeah.
And I'm really impressed with how cool he is about it. And, maybe inside he's fuming. But again, like, he's showing you what needs to be shown, which is, this was done for me. I will do it for him. If the day comes I need to step aside, okay.
Yeah.
Like, that is the nature of this game.
And we've said it, especially the last year and a half or so, that these veteran players across the league are feeling the pressure of all of these young kids coming up. That's why you see all these guys wanting 14, 15-year deals, because they're like, hey, I want to make sure that I finish my career on a club, like that I have a job for 15 years.
Yep.
Like, I see all the talent in AAA, AA, single A. Heck, the ones you drafted this year that seem to be making the MLB like immediately. Like, I see all these young kids and all the talent. I want to make sure I have a job.
Yep.
Like, I can't sign a 3 or 4 year deal and then at 33 years old trying to find a job when these kids at 20 and 21 are coming up. They're under control. They're cheap, are, arguably better than I am. And I'm stuck without a position. I'm stuck without a job. So like, I get it. All these veterans are under a ton of pressure, unless you're Vlad Jr., Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, all these guys that are top of the league and have these long-term contracts.
Yep.
I get it. It's a lot of pressure, but he's handling this the correct way. This is what a professional does. And I'm reading between the lines here, and he's like, hey, if I don't perform, my butt's going to be on the pine. That's it. Like, I get it. I understand how this business works. So,
yep. I mean, thankfully he was in a situation with Tulowitzki where he saw it from the other side and can appreciate what he went through. I can only applaud him for having such a cool demeanor about it and understanding this is how the game is played. I see a world where Marcelo Mayer is your shortstop next year and Trevor Story slides back over to second and Christian Campbell's back in the outfield. There's certainly that. So I think, Trevor Story saying the right things, doing the right things, helping the kid along, which he doesn't have to. Nobody said, hey, you need to do this. He took it upon himself to do it.
Right.
And I can appreciate where he's at. And that is, I think it's refreshing with all the nonsense going on with the Red Sox to hear somebody who's got that stance.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, let's dive into some of these injury updates here. Walker Buehler is expected to be back during the Mets series, so May 19th, 21st. We got about another week without, so another start pretty much.
Yeah, he's apparently back to throwing and just kind of building back up. He's limited, he's ramping back up, but yeah, all indications are things are good.
Good. Cutter Crawford hopefully will start a rehab assignment in May. I mean, that's a hopefully.
There's no set timetable for him yet.
Yeah. Our boy Dick Fitz threw a bullpen, still evaluating timing of rehab assignment. It would be nice to get him back because he is an innings eater for sure.
And he's a guy that can pitch in any conditions. If you really had to send a guy to the bullpen for a month, he's the kind of guy that could do it and be a long man, come in and clean up.
Yep.
What's concerning though is that they're still not sure when he's gonna be ready for a rehab assignment because he's just not ready. His throwing is so limited right now.
Yeah. This is the one that I'm still like, I don't really know what's going on at all. Masataka Yoshida still not cleared to throw, no timetable for his return. So this one, I don't know. Like, is this really the case, or is this because there's no spot for him and you're not just gonna sit him in AAA and have him rake the whole time? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's really vague. They shut him down a few weeks ago because it wasn't responding. So he's not clear to start throwing again. He's still got some shoulder issues they're trying to work through. He's still down in Florida, I believe, in what's effectively extended spring training, getting therapy, doing some field work, hitting in cages, but there is no timetable for him to start back up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're just hiding him down there because they don't know what to do with him, or if there's like a real problem with his shoulder.
See, for me, I saw him hit in spring training. Maybe he re-injured it, had a setback, whatever. I don't know. For me, it looks like they just don't have a spot for him. That's what it looks like for me.
Yep.
Because you look at this roster and like, who are you going to sit to put Yoshida in the lineup? No one.
Nobody. And your only option is to maybe mix him in with the outfielders. But if you can't throw, you can't do that. So you're left with DH. But you're not going to sit Devers to let Yoshida play.
Why don't you throw a first baseman on Yoshida at this point?
I mean, if you can't throw, then obviously teams will take advantage of that. But yeah, I mean, maybe if he's got at least limited throwing. I mean, the Phillies did that with Bryce Harper when he came back. His throwing was limited because of the surgery. So play first base ended up working out great.
Yeah. Speaking of first basemen that have been filling in, Roby Gonzalez hits the 10-day IL, is expected to be back after the 10 days. So just a quick little stint there. But I mean, is he the full-time first baseman?
I think as it stands now, yeah. I think Romy Gonzalez is your, number one first baseman. And he's filled in well. I mean, obviously he got hurt running into the Rangers player. I can't remember who it was, but it's a shame because here's a guy who gets a chance and then gets hurt like 3 days later. And now he's battling back.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good start to the season. I don't mind him there. I don't think he's a full-time guy that you want at first base. You want somebody a little bit more consistent.
Mhm.
But he's a plug there until we figure something out at that position, which just seems to be the Red Sox issue the last few years because Casas can't stay on the field. We thought Dahlback would be there. Nope. The first base position has been a rotation for a long time. We haven't had a steady first baseman in a long time.
No, it's been a challenging position. And then Bobby Dahlbeck had 12 games down in Charlotte. He hit 326 with a bunch of extra base hits. They let him go. He just signed with the Brewers, and he's going to AAA there. The guy keeps surviving, and he keeps raking in AAA. He just can't find a spot.
Yeah, I don't know. What else do you think they do at the first base position?
I mean, there's nobody in the minor leagues that's ready to come up, so that option's out. The only other option you have is to go, trade for somebody's backup, or go grab a guy like Anthony Rizzo off the couch and say, "Hey, can you come play first base for a few months? Maybe 3 or 4 days a week."
Yeah,
but realistically, there's no good options.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's get into some weekly recap. So Rangers went into Fenway. Nathan Eovaldi again. I mean, this dude is an absolute beast, machine. Yeah. All the adjectives, nouns. It's crazy. Sox never got anything going. Game 2, Abreu goes deep twice. Bregman hits his 200th home run of his career, and bullpen finally shut it down. So Sox win Game 2, and then they win Game 3. So they win the series. Which is what the Red Sox have needed in quite some time. We haven't won a series in like 2 weeks before this. So
again, it's you've got to start making progress. You've got to win the games you're supposed to win. And this is a team that you need to be able to take 2 out of 3 from. Not that they're a bad team, but if you're going to be that kind of playoff team, these are the teams you're going to face that you've got to beat.
Yeah.
So actually a good series for them. Game 1 was frustrating because they just looked lost out there, but they came right back. And the bullpen was, great in Game 2 and 3.
Yeah. It's the depth of the starters that is absolutely key for this Red Sox team. If the starter can only go 4, you might as well put the L in the loss column immediately because they're not going to be able to hold the lead for the next 5 innings.
Yeah,
but if you can shorten the game for them and they only have to pitch the 7th, 8th, and 9th, I feel confident with that.
Which Bayo left them a lot of work to do. He had 5 walks. He was very erratic in Game 3.
Yeah,
he left the bullpen a lot of work to do, and thankfully I think the bullpen cumulatively gave up 1 hit.
Yeah,
like they were great in relief of him because he was. That 0 is a little bit misleading because he had base runners all game. He was always 1 hit away from a disaster.
Yeah, he's that type of pitcher though. He's that heart attack starter for sure.
Big time.
And then the Red Sox go to Kansas City. So that Game 1 was weird. 0-0 going into the 10th. Just wild.
Bizarre game.
Yeah. And then Royals walked that one off. Then the Red Sox absolutely pounded the Royals yesterday. Crochet is just filthy. It's not fair. Because even when his stuff was on, but even when his stuff is just a little off, they still can't touch him. It's crazy.
Well, and it's funny. Like I watch him pitch, and I'm like, man, he was so good. Then I look at the stat line: 7 innings, 7 hits, 9 Ks. And I'm like, when the hell were the 7 hits? Like, why do I not remember seeing 7 hits? It's because they're like oddball, random 2-out singles. Any Ks, the next guy in the inning's over. Like they don't matter. They're not consequential hits. Like these guys, he gets hit a lot for a guy that throws with his velocity. But the problem is when you throw that hard, you're providing a lot of the power. They just have to touch it and it's in the outfield. So there's that working against him. But he gives up so many just like nonsensical, inconsequential hits throughout the game and then shuts the inning down.
And they're bleeders. They're
brutal.
They're like tricklers that get through the infield, or he gets it right off the tape of the bat and they somehow like just dump it into right field. Saw 3 or 4 of those. He gets 2 outs right away, and then the guy hits it off the end of the bat into the outfield, and then strikes out the next guy, like you said.
Yeah, it's bleeders and ducks. Like he's just it's nothing's really hit hard. But you look and you're like 7 hits. When did he give up 7 hits?
Yeah.
And you think back like, well, yeah, there's 2 infield singles, a blooper. It's like, okay, yeah, he got eaten up by a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah. And then Giolito today, love the way he looked. 6+ bullpen holds, Devers homers and drives in a run. So Devers came through today, and then yesterday 4 for 4. So with all this stuff going on in the background, Devers is still going out and performing. But I think the story here is Lucas Giolito has looked good in his first 2 starts back.
Yeah, he had the blow up in Toronto, which I think was Alex Cora's fault, not his. Otherwise, he's been good.
Yep, I agree.
And and he was very complimentary of Devers today. Giolito after the game said, "We're very lucky to have him. He's a real asset to this team and a real terror to the opponents."
Yeah,
so I think that was nice of Giolito to come out and back him a little bit.
Yeah, and we're not saying that. We know that Rafael Devers is a huge part of this team. Like we do. We'd be stupid if we said that he's not, right? I mean, he's a 35 and 100+ home run guy, RBI guy.
Yep.
Like it would be dumb to be like, oh yeah, Devers doesn't matter to this team. Yeah, he does. He's a huge bat in that 2-hole. We understand that.
Yep. Nobody's arguing that point.
Right. It's all the drama behind it. But it's good that he's got some teammates that will stand up for him. And he's still performing. So just keep it up, I guess. I don't know.
I'm not sure what else you say about it.
Yeah.
He's doing what he's supposed to do. And he also made a comment that, he's really good at blocking out the noise and focusing on what matters. And that's why he's able to hit with all the stuff going on. And and Edward, when he's hitting, there's no doubt how important he is, what he's capable of. But, all this with the storm of activity around him, I wasn't sure what to expect this week, and he was great.
Yep. But I like that Giolito has come out and looked pretty good in his first couple starts coming back. So it's promising going forward for sure.
Yeah, they need pitchers. They need guys that can eat up innings. He went 6 2/3 today. Not a lot of Red Sox starters have made it 6 2/3 so far this season.
Yeah,
that's a huge benefit.
Yeah, other than Crochet, really know what he has.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and Crochet is he's gone 5 a bunch. He's also gone deeper. I mean, I feel like you're now into that second week of May. I feel like these pitchers are starting to kind of feel their stride. Weather's warming up. They're going to be able to stretch out.
Yeah.
So I think that's a positive, but it's nice to see a pitcher go deep. And I will say for Giolito, he did a great job today just getting soft contact. A ton of ground balls. Of ground balls.
And when he's on, that's what he does.
Yeah.
He doesn't strike people out. He just gets them to roll over softly. So
yeah, he and Houck are just ground ball machines. Those guys should be feasting June, July, August.
Yes, I agree. All right.
Here we go. Nick, we got a few Who Is That Guy Red Sox edition for you. So let's get started.
All right.
Played for 15 seasons between 1993 and 2007. Played for the Red Sox, Rangers, Mariners, Angels, Dodgers, and Mets. 2-time All-Star and 3rd place in the Rookie of the Year voting. Best known for starting a brawl that didn't end well for George Bell. Who is that guy?
Totally know who this is.
I feel like the best known for, I give him away a lot.
Yeah. This is Aaron Seeley.
That is absolutely Aaron Seeley. And honestly, one of the guys who had like the easiest, smoothest pitching rotation you'll ever see. Like I tried to pitch like him for so long. I just don't know how he did it. Yeah. Like his mechanics were so flawless. Anyways, Aaron Seeley, record of 148 and 112, ERA of 4.61, 1,407 strikeouts. Again, a lot of ground balls from him. 20.1 WAR. And if you don't know the George Bell reference, Aaron Seeley threw a pitch up and in. And I'm not sure if he got George Bell. Did it go behind him? I can't remember that. But either way, George Bell with the White Sox, pretty big, angry dude, comes running out. Aaron Seeley kind of sidesteps, and Mo Vaughn comes running across the field and tackles George Bell like a linebacker. George Bell got taken off his feet.
He speared him. He hit him so hard, man.
Yeah, oh my goodness, he absolutely wiped out George Bell. Yeah. And again, George Bell's a big dude. Mo Vaughn's a huge dude, and that was like the clash of the Titans on the mound. And I will never forget the look on George Bell's face too. Like in the video when he gets hit, he's like, oh, like you can see him like didn't see it coming, got absolutely destroyed.
It's so awesome too because like you don't see Mo Vaughn coming because
No.
it's on the center field camera. You see the batter coming at Seeley. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this Mack truck comes and just takes him out from the side, and you're just like, "Oh!" It's like,
yeah, George
dang.
Bell got annihilated, and George Bell. There were very few players in baseball that would stand up to George Bell, and Mo Vaughn had no problem downing him.
Oh my god, great! And then Mo Vaughn immediately gets calls from the Patriots, being like, "Hey, what are you doing in October?"
Yeah. You want to come play some middle linebacker for us, or be an edge rusher? Because I mean, George Bell's a big boy, and he took him clean off his feet.
It's like straight out of the cartoons. He hit him so hard that like all his clothes just stay there and just fall straight down to the ground. That's how hard he hit him. Man, crazy.
Yeah, you can see like the spit like flying out of his mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, it was bad.
Oh, but Edward, this was also an epic meltdown when
is this the phone he beat the crap out of
in Baltimore? Yeah,
Dustin Pedroia's like ducking for cover because he's not even that far away. There's pieces of the phone flying everywhere.
Yeah, and then who destroyed all the TVs? Was it Chris Sale on a rehab start or something like that?
Chris Sale destroyed a whole slew of TVs and got fined.
Man, this in our big show, Flat Cheese. I'm bringing this up because I want to see where y'all think Devers could end up if he gets shipped out. So if you're going to be around later, we are going to talk about that. Yep. But just kind of hang on to that if you're around.
We will go down that road for sure.
Yeah. I mean, never forget David Ortiz took it on. I mean, that was epic for sure. But all right, ready for the next one?
Right, next one. Played for 15 seasons between 1981 and 1995. Played for the Mets, Reds, Expos, Padres, Rangers, Phillies, Red Sox, and Yankees. Appeared in 703 career games and started 98. Best known for being able to throw left-handed too, but was only allowed to do it one time, and that was in 1995. Who is that guy?
I love the 6-finger glove. It's the best.
I said you can even see the glove where it's got like the webbing.
Yeah.
You can flip it to the next hand. He was allowed to pitch to 2 batters in 1995, left-handed. It was told never again.
Yeah. I know. Does anybody in the chat know who this is? I definitely do. Anybody?
He was always one of those guys who looked like so unassuming. So yes, looks like you should have been doing your taxes, not striking out hitters.
Listen, everybody in the 80s and the early 90s looked like that.
No, I know it was the glass and the mustache. Like I get it. That was the style.
Yeah. It's Greg Harris.
It is Greg A. Harris. But yes, Greg Harris.
My bad.
Greg Harris, record of 74-90, 54 career saves, 3.69 ERA, 1,141 strikeouts, 19.9 WAR. He was the first player in baseball to pitch with both hands in a single game. Obviously, we now have guys coming up. They're going to do that more regularly than that, but he was the first guy to do it. I think he faced 2 batters and got them both out. Could throw relatively well left-handed, but every team he went to, they said, nope, one hand. We're not messing with this.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it, I can never pronounce his name. Gentili looks like, I think that's how you say it, is the next guy that's coming up in the Mariners.
Oh, he's so good.
And then you had Pat Venditti a couple of years ago that threw with both and threw decent. I mean, 90 with one hand, 85 with the other, with some wipeout stuff. Like,
and this kid for the Mariners throws 90 plus with both hands. Like, it's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's wild.
I mean, it's hard to do it with one hand, and you can do it with both arms. Like, that's bananas.
Yeah, I think my hardest pitch ever might have topped out at 85, and these guys are doing it with both arms. It's
foolish.
Yeah,
it is foolish. All right. Played for 8 seasons between 1998 and 2005. Played for the Marlins, Red Sox, White Sox, and Mets. 4th place Rookie of the Year. Has a 2004 World Series ring. Best known for being thrown at 6 times in a game against the Rays in 2000, which involved a brawl and 8 ejections. Who is that guy?
I can't tell. It's a weird picture. That's not Daubach, is it?
It is absolutely Brian Daubach.
All right. It is a weird picture, but there we go.
Yeah, that is Brian Daubach. Average of 259, 93 home runs, 333 RBI, 6.3 career WAR. This guy would hit like 750 in May and then like 050 in June.
Yeah.
And he absolutely drove managers crazy. But when he was hot, you couldn't get him out. When he was cold, he could barely make contact. But he earned what he was one of the original dirt dogs that earned that nickname because the dude was 100 miles an hour every second.
Yeah. I loved watching him play. When he was hot, man, it was fun to watch him.
Unconscious.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He would hit good pitchers, bad pitchers, didn't matter. He would hit everything.
Yeah. And then not.
And then hit nothing.
Yeah.
You didn't know what you were going to get from him day to day.
No.
But once he was on a heater, that dude was in the lineup every day until he wasn't.
Yep.
All right. Played for 15 seasons between 1986 and 2000. Played for the Rangers, Yankees, Red Sox, Blue Jays, and Athletics. One-time All-Star, one-time Silver Slugger. Best known for catching the last no-hitter of Nolan Ryan's career. Who is that guy?
Hold on.
He was a catcher for a lot of years and then became more of a first base DH later in his career.
Stanley?
It is Mike Stanley.
All right.
Stanley.
The teams were throwing me off a little bit.
Yeah, he played for a lot more places than I remembered.
Yeah, that's what was throwing me off.
Mike Stanley, average of 270, 187 home runs, 702 RBIs, a 20.9 WAR. A guy who had this like complete uppercut swing, and he would just launch balls 1,000 feet in the air over the monster. They'd go 1,000 feet up and like scrape the monster on the way back.
Yep, he's a catcher. Yep,
he's a catcher. Yes.
Yep, got it.
Yeah, he did not catch much for the Red Sox. He caught some, and then he was transitioning to more first base DH. But he had that right-handed uppercut like swatting swing, and he would just hit these moonshots.
Yep, absolutely.
Devers by a lot.
Yeah, we're with you, buddy. We are with you, Welch, for sure. All right.
Oh, man. All right, I think we got one more.
All
right. Played for 12 seasons between 1995 and 2007. Played for the Athletics, Red Sox, Rockies, Orioles, Rangers, and Pirates. He was a first-round pick in 1993. Best known for his tendency to give up a certain type of hit and the nickname he earned from it. Who is that guy?
Oh, you might have me here.
I've got a hint that I know you'll get it.
You said a type of hit.
He tends to give up a certain type of hit a lot, and he earned a nickname for it. Joe Castiglione's favorite call. And the call went something like, do you want the hint? Or you want to miss it?
Yeah, give me the hint.
Castiglione's favorite call went way back. Way back.
I don't think I'm going to know this guy too.
This guy's name was blank, way back, blank.
I mean, you just summarized the entire Red Sox bullpen of 2025.
Well, I mean, yes, there is. And in this era, that was the Red Sox bullpen then too. So.
Oh my God, man. I'm struggling on this one.
Initials are JW. And the way back.
I don't know. Yeah, I think you got me on this one.
All right, chat. Anybody remember a pitcher with the nickname way back? Way back, because he gave up a lot of big home runs and blew a lot of games because of it.
Way back.
We'll give chat like 5 more seconds and we'll flip it.
Yeah, I don't.
This is when I know you're going to be like, how? Like, I know him. All right, flip it. John Wayback Wasden.
Get out of here with that. Yeah.
So obviously now you realize why Jim West.
Jim West, yeah.
I almost put Jim Corsi up here. I'm like, oh no, I'm going Wayback Wasden. I thought that would be an easier one to get. He's a tough guy because he's just not that memorable.
No, I mean, definitely the name and definitely remember him giving up a ton, but yeah.
Yeah, so John Wasden, career record of 39-39, 5.28 ERA, 527 Ks, 3.4 career WAR. A guy who was a first-round pick, who had a really high level of expectations put on him and just struggled to stay in the big leagues. Ended up as a middle reliever. Had some moments, had some other moments that weren't so good.
Yep.
Gave up a lot of really big, bad home runs.
Dang.
But that was kind of the Red Sox of that era, so.
Yeah, facts.
I mean, yes, absolutely.
Dang.
Facts.
But wow, crazy.
But those are fun. I like doing those.
Yeah, those are great. Man, I couldn't believe I should have gotten that one too. They're so hard, like on the spot too.
I know,
On the
'cause
spot live, and you're just like, man, I should know this guy.
yeah, you got 10 seconds to figure it out, and I've been putting these. It took me a couple hours to put them together. I had all kinds of time to research.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sitting here
all.
trying to like brain warp it to you. Like
Yeah, I should have had it, but
that's all
man.
good. It's all good. You can't get them all. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, nobody believe if you got them all every time.
Yeah, right.
Oh, this is an interesting question, but better suited for the next show. But Chipper Jones underrated? I feel like Chipper Jones is appropriately rated. I don't think he's under or overrated. He was a Hall of Famer. He was one of the best switch hitters of all time. Very good defensively, great leader. I think he's appropriately rated.
Yep, I'm with you. He's rightly rated for sure.
Yep. Edward. Learned a lot of people don't know that Atlanta Braves used to be the Boston Braves.
Yeah.
That confuses a lot of people. They do not realize the connection.
Yeah.
But I think that goes to you're going deep into history, and a lot of people, they really know only the baseball they've watched.
Right.
And that's the one thing I've learned about baseball fans. And there's times I'm guilty of it too. My history is not as deep as I wish it was, but there's so much. There's just so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Arnold's with us. Was great. Yeah. Definitely rated appropriately for sure. But yeah.
Yeah, well, John, when we fire up the big show, we'll got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, definitely. So Red Sox got the Tigers next week, and then they got the Braves. So not an easy week coming up next week. But,
no. And I will say, good week for the Red Sox, even in the midst of all the drama. See if they can keep it going. Yeah, we've been saying they have not been able to put together a good week. They finally did. Can they now make it too?
Yep. And I think these are two series that if they play like they have been, they have a shot.
Yep.
They have a shot. So, and next weekend, I know I said it on Thursday on the big show, is rivalry weekend.
Yep.
So it's geographic rivalry weekend while the Braves and the Red Sox are playing. That's not necessarily geographical, but the history is there. So they're coming in next week. So that would be next weekend would be kind of cool across MLB. But yeah, Tigers are going to be a tough one starting on Monday for sure.
Yeah, they're good. They are good. They're even better than advertised.
Yeah. So, all right. Anything else before we head on over to the big show?
That's it.
All right. Again, thanks as always to everyone in the chat. You guys are why we do this. We love your takes on everything going on with Red Sox and across the league. So absolutely love it. We will be back on to talk more Red Sox next week, hopefully after another good week and no Devers news, unless it's good. And we will see you next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
See ya.